Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Dude, it's Thursday.
Yeah.
Because somebody told me today was Thursday, and I was actually confused because I thought maybe it was Friday or Tuesday or Wednesday.
Actually, I
But
think you told someone that it was Thursday.
I maybe did, but I just never quite know. I mean, does anyone truly know what day of the week it ever is?
I'm pretty sure you dropped the knowledge on some people.
But then the knowledge was bamboozled.
Damn it. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. This is a show for you, by myself, your host, Charlie, and Zealeus, our prolific commenter himself. And what we do is we basically break down the topics that you have provided us through the week. And, of course, at any moment, you can drop it in the chat, and we will try to add it to the conversation. So, Zealeus, how's it going?
Dude, it's a good time to be alive.
Yeah. Well, don't know if I would say that.
I mean, I'm alive. It's what you do.
There you go.
I mean, are you alive or are you not alive? I don't know. Could we be in between?
Yes, we could be in between. It's all kinds of craziness.
What kind of crazy is your week of, sir?
My craziness is the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, Billy Mitchell, his record-breaking scores in Donkey Kong and Pac-Man have been reinstated into the Guinness World Book of Records.
Yay?
He was disqualified when it was discovered, potentially, that he may have had a modded version of the games that allowed him to get perfect scores in both Pac-Man and Donkey Kong.
And how did it come to light that it was, I suppose, not modded?
Oh, no, I said, let's see here. New evidence comes from the gentleman Mitchell himself, and a portion of which was included in a hefty lawsuit against Guinness and another record-keeping body, Twin Galaxies. Guinness's decision was also based on expert analysis by other classic arcade game players. As of Thursday, Mitchell is once again recognized by Guinness as the first player to reach a perfect score, 3,333,360 points in Pac-Man.
Yay?
Well, the thing was, actually, the ironic thing was when he came under scrutiny and basically was stripped of the title was, like, I think a matter of days before the Southern Fried Gaming Expo in Atlanta, where he was a key speaker. I was like, oh, that's not good timing. But anyways, just for you to know, Guinness has recognized it, but Twin Galaxies, the other record keeping association, says nah.
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Twin Galaxies still refuses to acknowledge either record. Notably, the relationship between Mitchell and Twin Galaxies owner and CEO Jace Hall remains confrontational. Legal proceedings between the two are ongoing. To that end, Hall's only comment delivered to Ars Technica by email was a picture of Kermit the Frog sipping a cup of Lipton tea.
I'm not actually familiar with the company. I haven't really heard of them before, the whole Pac-Man snafu. So I don't even know.
Twin Galaxies?
Yeah.
Twin Galaxies is like basically all the video game records.
Okay, that makes sense.
Guinness has like all the wackadoo. Like, I was able to bench press 4,000 pounds with my nutsack.
Why would you try bench pressing with your nutsack? Is my
if it's
question.
Not in the record book, you could get yourself in the record book by doing something dumb.
That sounds like a challenge.
It sounds like your first step to the Darwin Awards.
How many Darwins can you win before you die?
1.
Oh.
Pretty sure when you get the Darwin Award, you died.
What if you come back from the dead?
An undead. Like
I'm just saying,
apocalypse type thing?
Maybe a resurrection pit.
Resurrection pit. Ooh. Now we're getting tricky.
I mean, you know, if you're like the Arrow or something, it might have been multiple times for all we know. for all
to
the
say
craziness you
that
need.
you didn't accidentally fall into an alternate universe?
Well, the name of the website is Twin Galaxies.
Twin Galaxies.
Maybe they're trying to tell us something.
What's up, Gunny Chief? Man, I
What's
swear
up, Guns?
dude's really pisses me off. I really wish that I was able to set the font for one chat.
Yes.
Not have to screw around with the other, because now it's like, oh, the blue elephant's pulse.
Yeah, I see it itty bitty on the Twitch, but on the other Twitch, it's quite fun.
Okay, there we go. That looks better. I just have to.
No?
Yeah, much better. I just have to give myself a post-it note to change the freaking size of the text depending on which screen I'm using, because I can't make a unique text box. Anyway,
You know what makes me really mad?
What?
When you can't find post-it notes at work.
How many places at work still have post-it notes?
I was looking for like a good 45 minutes for post-it notes. They don't exist.
Didn't Microsoft make like some kind of like virtual post-it note thing?
Well, yeah, I have them open on my desktop right now.
Well, there you
But
go.
that's
Why do you
not
need an
the point.
actual post-it
No,
note
because I have
thing?
to put a post-it note on every single laptop that I'm returning, so I know exactly its status and what the dealio is.
I think
without
you're trying to make too much out of this.
My workflow stopped. It was like a crushing defeat of the efficiency of being able to label said laptops and therefore my life.
Lazy. Pretty lazy.
No, it was actually the antithesis of lazy.
You are making excuses, sir.
I was trying to make my work better
Excuses.
and make it actually work,
Excuses.
but I couldn't because I was not given my sticky notes.
Excuses. Anyways, so, all right. So the Guinness World Book of Records has reinstated Billy Mitchell. Whee!
So are you going to try to beat his record now?
Hell no.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Hell no. But speaking of banning and restricting or reinstating or whatever the hell you want to say, Blizzard has come out today and said that they have banned thousands of World of Warcraft Classic accounts for botting. Zealeus, would you like to illuminate to us what botting is?
So basically, botting is a computer bot, a computer that is a fake robot, basically, that usually in the context of a MMO is gold farming. And by gold farming, you go around usually killing the same string of mobs over and over and over, usually like in a kind of circular or very predictable pattern, to in a somewhat efficient manner. You basically farm gold, and then you either A, sell the gold on eBay, or B, procure items in game with gold and then sell those items on some kind of website someplace somewhere. So that's not surprising. I mean, bots in MMOs, usually the PvE parts, have been prevalent for eons, as a means to try to make a little some tidy. It's almost like a variation of cryptocurrency, and that you're using computer CPU cycles to do something computational and then somehow magically sell that at some future date or current date, for all I know.
Yes. So to be specific, for those out there who may be a little bit younger than us, way back when,
is there such a thing?
World of Warcraft was launched in 2004.
Jeez.
And so back in that time, MMOs were much grindier. So,
yes.
You had to basically beat the shit out of the same thing over and over and over again to kind of, level up and gain stuff. And of course, that spawned the need for bot accounts that basically would kill the same thing over and over again to gain gold, and then to potentially upgrade accounts so that you could buy like a level 20 warlock account.
Woo.
And not have to do anything. You just jump in with that, and that's, part of the botting. I don't know if they actually gave a number. I don't think they did. But actually, they probably did. Did they? Ah,
A
there it is.
number of accounts
74,000 World of Warcraft player accounts.
were banned.
74,000 were banned yesterday.
That's actually a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, we
because that's the classic
consider,
Warcraft.
Nowadays you're talking, a couple million players in World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Who actually have active subscriptions. That's actually a pretty good percentage of players, to be honest. Wow. I mean, I guess, gold farmers, they're finding a way to try to make a profit in game.
Well, I mean, that's part of the, mystique of World of Warcraft Classic or Vanilla WoW was that, it brought us back to the good old days. And so people are like, well, the good old days got me a lot of money.
I guess bots, I never considered bots part of the good old days, but fair enough.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, for those out there who are looking for some good news, I have some awesome news.
Oh, do tell, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are the owner of Witcher 3 on any platform but the PC, you, my friends, can get a free copy of Witcher 3 on the PC through Good Old Games, or GOG.
That's a fascinating license mechanism, actually.
Indubitably. Unfortunately, this deal does not extend to Nintendo Switch players, but for everyone else, the offer lasts until June 23rd. The edition you receive, normal or Game of the Year, will depend on what edition you owned on your console. Which, to be totally honest with you, I do not remember what Xbox One version I had, but I think it was just the regular one.
It's just a continued of Red Key Games has continuously shown that the moves they make are ones that gamers like.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously didn't have to do this. It's not like, or expect it for that matter. This is a kind of uncommon practice that they're doing. But just the fact they're doing it is it's continuing to, really ingratiate themselves with the gaming community as a whole, regardless of, PC or console or Switch, whatever you're playing. Players love some Project Red Key, and I expect to see, when it comes out, CyberPunk 2077, I'm expecting to see some massive sales numbers out of that game. People are invested in the company, and they've shown that they care about the gamer and that they're willing to, not nickel and dime the gamers. I mean, think about it. You see so many other AAA games with nickel and diming, and I know you have your analogy of the puzzle and the missing puzzle piece to start with, and you have to buy that puzzle piece. No, Project Red Key gives you the whole damn puzzle. Apparently now they're giving you an extra free one.
But before we go any further, it's called CD Project Red. It's not Project Red Key.
There's no key in there? Are you sure?
It's CD Project Red.
I don't know where I'm getting key from.
I don't know either, but
I don't know, man.
I was gonna let it go the first 3 times, so I'm like, okay, I've got it.
It's like Legends of Red Runeterra keys.
Oh Jesus! But speaking of Cyberpunk 2077, it has been delayed again.
I didn't see that.
Yes, it was a press announcement that was released. When was this? Today. We have decided to move the launch of Cyberpunk 2077 from September 17th to November 19th. Those of you who are familiar with the way we make games know that we won't ship something which is not ready. Ready when it's done is not just a phrase we say because it sounds right. It's something we live by even when we know we'll take the heat for it. At the same time, we are fully aware that making such a decision costs us your trust, and trading trust for additional time is one of the hardest decisions a game developer can make. And despite we think it's the right decision for the game, we'd still like to apologize for making the wait longer. Our intention is to make Cyberpunk 2077 something that will stay with you for years to come. In the end, we hope you understand why we did what we did. At the time we are writing these words, Cyberpunk Cyberpunk 2077 is finished both content and gameplay wise. The quests, the cutscenes, the skills and items, all the adventures Night City has to offer is all there. But with such an abundance of content and complex systems interweaving within each other, we need to properly go through everything, balance game mechanics, and fix a lot of bugs. A huge world means a huge number of things to iron out, and we will spend the additional time doing exactly that. This week, journalists from all over the world are starting to independently play the game. We are eager and quite stressed to hear their opinions as well as see your reactions when they publish their previews right after we air Night City Wire on the 25th of June. We hope this will satisfy some of your hunger for the game as we work to polish it for the November launch.
So what you're saying is it's basically a game that a number of other developers would actually, or publishers, would actually probably release right now in its current state.
Oh, they would have already pushed it out, yeah.
Consequences be damned, and it's an interesting choice of words, and that we are worried about our trust of the gamers.
Yep.
If anything, this actually makes me trust Project Red, not Key, even more, because they're showing that they are willing to put the time and effort into a wonderful product. Again, it reminds me of the old Blizzard. The old Blizzard used to do this time after time, and their games, though, because they were so polished, the gamers were like, all right, do your thing, make it a great game. Obviously, that's unfortunately not the case anymore, very sadly. But that's what really Project Red reminds me of, is the old Blizzard, putting out fantastic games and willing to take that time to make them good games, and not just, not just a good game, but a good finished game. There's a lot of good games that come out. It's like, holy moly, we still need actually 6 months of development. And they're looking to make it a developed game when it comes out, which I think is phenomenal.
Agreed.
I still want to see the custom Xbox model that is supposed to also be coming out. That is going to look freaking sick.
Sorry, for some reason we got spammed in our chat, and I can't.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where we got? There it is.
It's not on Twitch, I can tell you that.
I don't know where it is.
He's still there. He's still saying hi.
But I don't know where it's coming from. Anywho.
Must be Facebook or...
No, it's not. Anyways, now that I've been completely derailed, man, my brain... Okay. Wow. Where was I going with this? What were we talking about?
We were talking about Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes, I mean, it is refreshing for a company to be able to be willing to...
Wow. Have you looked at... So, the specs for this game are pretty nuts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Even the recommended are pretty... The recommended is a... I basically have the minimum requirements for this game. So basically, minimum requirements of the CPU are a Intel Core i5 4670 or the AMD Ryzen R5 1600. I actually have a processor slight step up from that, but really your CPU doesn't matter as much as the GPU. Fortunately, my GPU is now behind the times, apparently. You're looking at $300 for the GPU. You want the AMD Radeon RX Vega 64 or the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070.
Fancy.
And then for the mid-range with ray tracing support. Now you're talking high-end. The Intel i5 9600. And for the GPU, they want the RTX 2060. It's funny. I've never actually seen this before. They also have a recommended case for the mid-range with ray tracing. It's the Cooler Master NR600. That's kind of awesome, actually, that they have a recommended case. Oh, it's because it comes from a website. That's why. Okay. So the other ones are like actual, like real. But I think that's fascinating.
Let's see.
Anyways, so they definitely require a little bit of a specs to run it because it's going to be a high-end game.
What the hell? Oh, okay. I see what the problem is.
Did you create a problem, sir?
No, 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 no. It's YouTube.
Oh, interesting.
The messenger. I only wrote hello once, and now you can see it's spamming like crazy.
Ah, so yeah, I mean, you're right, Philip. The specs of CyberPunk 27 for the PC are hefty. Um, and the fascinating thing is that's where there was many generations where it was pretty trivial to build a PC that just blew consoles out of the water. I mean, that was for years, that was the norm. But it seems like maybe just a little this upcoming iteration of both the PS5 and the Xbox Series X is a little bit different, where to build that same kind of PC specifications at the same level of your PS5, or even more so the Xbox One, which has actually got a little bit higher spec inside, is actually a pretty good investment from a PC perspective, especially if you're a casual gamer. So that's why I think for this next generation, why the console actually interests me more so than previous years is because I personally see more of that value proposition. And I think in this case, looking at Cyberpunk 2077 is a good example. So let's just take Cyberpunk 27 for example, right? And I'm going to go back real quick. I'm going to grab the mid support GPU because I just want to check something out.
Zealeus, you keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to see if I can't fix the chat room.
So, like for instance, they're recommending I might be a little bit off my graphics cards, so I don't follow PC quite as much as I used to. So, just a quick search for the GTX 2060. The very cheapest one I can find on Newegg is going to be $320. That's just the GPU, not even talking CPU, case, power supply, all the other fancy doodads and stuff, right? So you take $320, and the other ones are actually around $400 for the other 2060s. So somewhere in that $300 to $400 range, just the graphics card. But now you still have to worry about your CPU, your RAM, hopefully you're running a solid state drive by now, and all your other components.
Solid state drive.
I'm just solid drive, sir. So you start looking at it from an actual cost benefit proposal. And to me, the scales are a little bit not quite, it used to be like heavily in favor of a PC, but now you look at, these recommendations and it's definitely not quite the same as it used to be, where it was just a easy choice to kind of get your gaming. And the other benefit too is because if you look at like the consoles, like they're made with basically 4K gaming in mind. Now your hardcore gamer is going to be like, but it's not 144 megahertz refresh because that's what most monitors are now. For gamers at least, is 144 megahertz, which really ups the need for the graphic processor, and that just really puts a big price premium on your PC build. But if you're playing on your 65-inch TV, you're going more for the 4K than the big refresh for your hertz at that point. So that's from where my perspective, that's where this next generation, those consoles really are, I think, much more of a cost value proposition than previous times. Is just kind of my perspective. If you're going to want to build your PC or buy a new console. And that's what you're trying to find. So, because I always feel like there's, a bit of confirmation bias, right? Mm-hmm. So you always hear gamers We're like, dude, unless it's like, you're hardcore gamer and you got the 10, 100 billion refresh rate on your monitor and all this stuff, like you're not like a real gamer. Um, like 4K gaming, even 2 gaming. But you look, for instance, on Steam where they have like their hardware survey, and by far, just regular 1080p gaming is still by far the most popular. So that kind of eliminates the need for a lot of like your high-end graphics cards right there. You look at the video card, and the most popular is your GTX 1060, which is mid-range, which is actually kind of the lower end of the Cyberpunk 27 system requirements.
That's what you want, though. You want the you want to shoot. Oh my lord. Okay, I'm gonna have to shut down the chat room because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
He's basically spewing the chat right back. So, ladies and gentlemen, have no fear. I do have a chat window open on the side. I can still see it, but I'm gonna have to kill the one during the show because apparently it be broken. Right. I mean, I understand. Your game as a developer, you want to make sure that your game is the shiniest, prettiest thing that's known to man. But at the same time, you also want the game to be able to run on basically your slightly no, they don't call it low end now. They call it
Potato.
budgeted. Your budgeted gaming rig. So I mean, I'm excited to see the game. I think I'll end up getting it on the PC though. Speaking of which, okay, sorry. Since my brain has been like all over the place, I let Zealeus drive a little bit. What, did I freeze you again? No.
No, just.
Oh, yes.
That's your brain all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
I was mimicking your brain.
Just making sure. All right, so speaking of deciding what platform you want to play on, Respawn Games, the company behind Apex Legends, has announced that Apex Legends is coming to the Nintendo Switch this fall. Oh.
Interesting.
But there's more.
There's more.
This is what is causing quite a few people to smile like wicked devils and other people slapping their foreheads very forcefully. With the addition of Nintendo Switch, Respawn has decided to declare that crossplay will be happening as well.
Across all platforms, NPC or
Steam,
across all?
Origin, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch.
That's actually kind of interesting to me.
And the mouse and keyboard guy's going, yes, yes.
Okay, so here's what I'd be curious of. So typically in these games, you have some kind of like SR rating. By that I mean strength, basically your strength rating, of like basically trying to somewhat balance the matches, right? So I'm just using hypothetical numbers right now, right? So let's just say your SR on a PC is at that. Let's just say 10,000 is like the best, right? You're like the almighty player is 10,000, right? So let's just say in the mouse and keyboard, right? You're a 2,000 player. But if you're also playing it, because in theory, over like dozens of hundreds of matches, it should balance out. You're a 2,000 rating player on the PC. You should then be playing against people who on the playing with a joystick, on your console, they're also at that 2,000 rating. So even though from a mechanics standpoint, you could argue that the mouse and keyboard is superior to your gamepad, there's going to be people who are good enough with the gamepad over time that will also be able to compete with certain skill levels on the PC.
Whoa. Is your membership of the PC Master Race card expiring or something? Is it going to be revoked here? You can't say such nonsense.
I'm just saying the worst of the PC players are probably worse than the best of the console controller players.
Oh, I see. It's like the dumbest smart kid.
Yes, that's exactly it. And honestly, let's be realistic. There's kids who've been growing up playing these console games since they could first play games, who are probably actually really damn good with the console mechanics. I think, especially the top echelons, it's going to be really hard for those console players to break into the top tier levels. Because I do think there kind of becomes a actual mechanical point where it's just from a pure ergonomics and all the other fancy words, just what you can do. But I think across a lot of skill levels, you're going to see console players. And that I think it'll be interesting to see how it works out, to be honest.
But what about the PC gamers that use a controller?
No, those people are just loca.
All right, fine. Whatever, Zealeus. I didn't like you anyways.
So yeah, it's I think it's cool actually. I think it's interesting. Let me rephrase that. I think it's interesting if they have a way to basically over time do strength ratings. I think of all the games just basically randomly throw together in basically your PC and console players, that seems a little bit maybe not as fun for certain players. But I think if it over time has like your strength rater or ELO ratings, I say why not? And they might also learn something about ranking players, or how well it does or doesn't work. So why not? Give it a try.
I will always go to, companies out there, you see what Respawn's doing with doing cross platform play. Why can we not have like an online PvE team-based game cross-platform?
You mean Final Fantasy 14?
Something like that, yeah, sure.
I mean, it's a PvE MMO.
Well, I mean, the game I always think about is Warframe. In
Okay.
my mind, there's no reason why cross-platform should be out. It should not be there.
I agree with that. Good questions. I don't know.
Now, since I'm basically bounced between like 17 different chat rooms, there was a question that I received, and it is a little bit silly, but at the same time, it's thought-provoking. So I give it to Zealeus. Zealeus.
42.
No, technically, I guess, sure, that could be the answer, but we don't know the question. This one is, in all of those like RPG adventure games, the question that was posed to me was, if a character or creature has the ability to do a status effect upon someone like poison, shouldn't they in turn be immune to said poison?
Okay. The question is, what is the means of delivering said poison agent to their players? Like, if you take your classical fantasy tropes from a book, like Robin Hobb's series, the Farseer trilogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dude. I'm basically like the equivalent of a thief in that game, right?
Yep.
Or in the series. And they're assassinating people with poison all the time. Well, they're using nefarious means like putting it in cups and put, the classic, drop a little bit of poison in a teacup and you die from poison. So in that form, well, they probably actually are immune to poison because they also, poison themselves.
I wouldn't say they're immune. I'd say they're resistant.
Yeah, you're right. Resistance is a better word.
Yeah.
Because it's the idea where you kind of take the poison in slow, tiny doses over your life also, because you're probably going to just by accident. But if you're talking in the more classical RPG, like I cast a spell of poison on you, which is probably what the question's geared at, I would assume, for the sake of argument, that the poison, the magical... Okay, you know what? This is actually interesting, because I'm going to give it a side here.
All right.
So if you think about it, right?
Yep.
A hallmark of a good fantasy novel with dragons and swords and sorcery,
Mm-hmm.
is good magic building, right?
Yep.
You take a book series, and the author usually spends a decent amount of time building magic and how does it work in the world. Like, in the context of poison, for instance, does the magic kind of come from inside?
Mm-hmm.
Does poison basically come out of veins and shoot at you, or is it like some outside of my sphere of influence? I'm kind of like just taking it from the environment.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about, like, video games very rarely delve into that detailed of magic. It's just kind of some force that magically appears.
Right.
I mean, that's why it's called magic, right? It's just, that's a total aside. But if you think about it, RPGs rarely give you any kind of context for the actual magic system. They're all basically like Diablo-esque, where you just press a button and magic appears.
No, I mean, like I think this individual was actually playing a Diablo, a hack and slash Diablo-esque game, and they were dealing with, like spiders that were poisoning their character. However, the character could turn right back around and poison them right back.
Yeah. Oh, that's not how I was thinking about in the context of I poison you, so I should. Oh, that's actually a different way of looking at it.
Well, yeah, I mean that's one way. I mean the other thing with when you're looking at is the poison, the magic, the power of the poison coming from in you or within, spell ingredients or something.
Well, I mean, again, some games have it where, like, spiders, for instance, may be immune to poison, which actually makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, without a full deconstructing of your magic system in your game, which video games actually fail to do, is, I would say video games take the assumption that when you cast a spell, it's actually more than likely channeled through your weapon, to be honest.
Yeah.
And taking that in the context of you get weapons to power up your spells. So in the context of poison, right?
Yep.
I now have a wand of +4 now. So now it does a 4 extra attack because it's now coming out of my wand.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say for the context of games and immunity, it's coming from your weapon and, not actually coming out of your system.
True. I mean, you could take it a step further and say that, I mean, that's why in a lot of the RPGs you have like resistance in the items that you wear.
True. Yeah. But from the context, I could see the following that thought logic, though, where if you do have a poison wand, why wouldn't you have, if not full immunity, a lot of resistance? Because let's be honest, the resistance in most items in video games, unless you grind hardcore, is like 0.5%. Like, it's really negligible, to be honest. But yeah, if you have a poison wand, I mean, maybe your wand should be able to just absorb that poison, because by God, that's what it does.
But, to take it a step further, I mean, if you really want to dive down this rabbit hole, it's not like there's one poison to rule them all. I mean, we're talking, there's different flavors of poison. It's like if you get bitten by a brown recluse, your body's gonna react differently than if you were bitten by a black widow.
True. Although most video games assume it's one type of poison, one type of freezing. Because by the same context, if you cast a freezing spell, you're also not freezing yourself.
How can you freeze someone who's already frozen?
But you think about
set
that.
Someone on fire who's already on fire.
Well, if you take the act, well, okay, so let's take that context, right? Let's take, for instance, flame spells, right? Mm-hmm. There is some interesting irony because a lot of games, you're going to be like face flaming like the spider, like you're not like 10 feet. They're like on top of you.
Yep.
You're setting them on fire. It would follow logic that you're probably getting burnt by that fire at the same time.
Yes.
So therefore, either A, you should have immunity to fire because you're not getting burnt by on fire, or B, you're also taking damage from that fire. Yet neither is the case.
You would think with something that causes a change in the environment that it would have AOE, area.
True. But it's a good question.
It was a very good question. I was just like, yes, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, video games just don't really think about the magic system.
Well, to be honest with you,
happens.
most games, be it video games or tabletop, I don't think they dive unless you're like a. I don't think the rule Nazis would be able to break that down. I mean,
No, like
I don't think there's any game system that's gone that deep unless it's homebrewed.
Or if it's based off of another game or series. So, for instance, like one case might be like, is there actually? I was seeing if there's a game based off of a certain series. Okay, so like here's one, for instance, is like, excuse me, there's an adventure game based off of the Mistborn trilogy.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
In Mistborn, the magic is basically based off of elements you find in the environment. And that's how you kind of do stuff, is through different elements like iron and copper and different things. So in this case, you kind of have a built-in magic system, but that's its own unique magic system that it uses, whereas 95% of all games just use some kind of generic mana system.
Yeah.
You have mana. If you think about it, rarely do books have any kind of mana system.
Yep.
Like you rarely hear characters be like, "Oh no, I can't cast a spell. I ran out of mana."
I think that's why I think a lot of them try to get away with saying, what do you call it? A lot of spell systems, when it comes to like books and stuff, it's all about components. It's not like this inner mana point clock system that you have. It's like, well, I don't have the hair of a ratty snoot and 5 dragon tears to cast a spell.
Yeah. It'd be a lot easier discussion if we could just like cast fireballs in real life.
Yeah, I know. Lightning from our fingertips. Come on, let's do it. I mean, let's go there. If I'm shooting lightning out my fingertips, I should probably be immune to electricity because the damn things are coming out of my fingertips.
But if you think about it, even most like fantasy series that had magical troops, it's not like that. Like, most RPGs, it's like, I'm a battle mage and rah! A lot of RPG kind of style books don't have that same magic troops either.
Right.
Like one of the series that has that, it's actually called Battle Mage, has like, they're basically like a Diablo type of battle mage, but like they're also casting spells almost like at a certain location. It's not like lightning bolts are coming out of my fingers like a video game. It's like almost coming out of the ground. That's actually a really good series too. But yeah, it's most series, it's not like battle mages doing that kind of stuff. It's almost like being conducted through some other material, as you put it.
And to be honest with you, the vast majority of the time when you're reading, spell casting curses or whatever, it's kind of like a glossed over thing. It's like, I had the components, or I was able to cast a spell. They don't really go into, they don't break down the details to the level of, that's why I can't feel 2 of my fingertips because I shot too much lightning out of them.
Well, that's what makes to me a good fantasy book that does a really interesting job of the magic building. So like a series I'm reading right now is the Demon Saga, and it's basically the concept is there's basically demon war. Demons attack at night. They have to defeat the demons. Oh no. But like the most powerful type of magic actually comes from basically taking the bones of dead demons.
Is that Salvatore?
No. I can see why you think it was, but no.
Well, no, there's a Demon Wars saga by Salvatore.
Welcome to fantasy, classic fantasy, right? And so basically take the dragon, like the demon bones, but it's an interesting magic system where they kind of dive in really deep into it. That's why I like the Mistborn series, is because they really kind of, Brandon Sanderson builds a very unique and interesting to me world of magic. And it's really like, okay, you have these different like metal elements and you can use these alloys and they do different things. It's really cool. And I really enjoy that in a book that does a interesting magic building world. And it's not just there.
How about the Demon Hunter Saga?
Demon Hunter. I don't know that one.
No, I'm just trying. I cannot find.
Oh, are you
Demon
looking for
Saga.
a Salvatore demon?
No, you said it's not a Salvatore book.
Oh, no, it's what is it called? Now it's annoying me.
Don't know.
Demons.
That's why I'm asking, Zealeus.
Oh, it's now you had to ask me. Wait, there it is. It's the Demon Cycle is the name of the series.
Demon Cycle.
Yeah.
Demon Cycle. Big difference, Zealeus.
What did I say? I don't remember anymore.
The Demon Saga.
Okay, maybe a little bit different. I could see where you're coming from, sir. You know, cycles, sagas, really
cycles, you know, epochs, all that stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take a quick second here and do a shout out to all those amazing people that you guys need to know about. Let's start off with the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is a phenomenal organization ruled by Ron Jones. He created it to help out the independent developer, especially when it comes to conventions. What his group does is they buy floor space for a convention and then basically split the cost, or kind of do a discount cost for the independent developers out there who want to show off their games but may not have the amount of money that they could get their own table. So definitely need to check them out. It's indiecluster.com. Now, of course, the next one that I've got to do a shout out is, of course, my very own chiropractor, herochiropractic.com. Dr. Ryan has done me right for, over 3 years now. If you're in the Atlanta area, you definitely got to check him out. He has done marvelous things. If you are a gamer in the Atlanta area, and you have slightly off perfect. Okay. If you're I'm trying to get too fancy. If your posture is not perfect, it probably isn't. You should have him take a look at it. He could probably make your back and whole body feel awesome. Now, of course, we have to do a shout out to the one, the only Craig Campbell and his amazing side project, Nerdburger Games. Nerdburger Games has created, Craig has created a ton of successful Kickstarter projects, and those projects include Mergers and Acquisitions, Die Laughing, and of course Capers. And Capers has, I think, 4 or 5 expansions now. Definitely worth your time. If you're looking for a more story-driven tabletop experience, Nerdburger Games is definitely where you want to get at. You don't have to have your abacus and your pivot tables and all of that additional stuff. Just look at these amazing games, nerdburgergames.com. Now, of course, the last shout out.
What's wrong with a pivot table, sir?
I don't even know how the fuck you use it. I'm going to be honest with you. Anyways, the last shout out, and they really don't need our shout out, but we're going to do it anyways because it's our favorite bar in the Atlanta area. This is actually in Sandy Springs. It's just north of 285. On Roswell Road. It's called Battle and Brew. Battle and Brew is a phenomenal place for all your nerdy and geeky means. They have kind of reduced the age limit, sort of, and it's probably why it's still thriving. Is because they allow for people, I think, under 18 now. You get ID'd at the door, but they have phenomenal food. They have phenomenal drinks. They also have board games, card games. Top-of-line PC setups, TVs that have a bunch of different consoles. It is a lot of fun. Of course, they also have theme nights. They have trivia. They've got half-off girl gamer nights, and then a bunch of other stuff. So definitely go to battleandbrew.com. Or hell, just go to Battle and Brew on Roswell Road in Atlanta, Georgia.
Go do it.
It's amazing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Altered Confusion is, of course, Altered Confusion has been around for over 13 years now. And the reason why we continue to do this is because we love video games.
We love you too.
Yeah, we love you too, guys. But some of you have been asking, okay, so how do I help out Altered Confusion? There are several different ways you can help out Altered Confusion. If you're looking to do a financial, monetary kind of help out, we do have Patreon. Patreon, of course, is a website that allows for you, the audience, the followers, the lovers, the haters, the dreamers, all that stuff, to do a monthly donation to Alter Confusion. That money, of course, goes into website upkeep, lighting, convention fees, equipment fees, all that stuff. It starts at $1 and goes all the way up. I think I have like 1 or 2 tiers on the Patreon site, which of course is patreon.com/AlteredConfusion. If you decide to pledge above the maximum tier, which I think is like $5 or $10 right now, if you decide to do that, reach out to me and I'm going to give you something special. I am floored that you want to donate more money per month than we are asking for, and I want you to get your money's worth. Now, if you want to look for a financial, you want to give us, you want to donate money to Alter Confusion, but maybe just a one-time thing, we also do have a PayPal account. The easiest way, of course, is if you're on twitch.tv/AlteredConfusion. There's a user panel right up below this. All you got to do is click on the Donate Now button, or you can go to www.AlteredConfusion.com. or altered-confusion.com, or alteredconfusion.net, or altered-confusion.net.
How altered are you, sir?
Super altered. And on the left-hand side, for now, there's a Donate Now button that you can click on.
Nice.
And that, of course, once again, goes to a PayPal account, and that goes into the same pot to help with the lighting and the equipments and all that stuff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that some of you may not want or have the ability to do a financial donation, but you're still looking to do something. The best thing for anyone to do is to like, share, repost, and tell everyone about Alter Confusion. You see a post that you like, favorite it, share it, tell everyone about it. We have Twitter, we've got Twitch, we've got YouTube, we've got Discord. If you want to join our Discord channel, just reach out to us. We'll give you the invitation link. And yes, the best way to help us is to just, support us. And if we're doing something right, share it to the masses.
Share it all, man. We love you all.
Now, I know that a lot of people out there have been curious as to sending something to Alter Confusion, and we are blown away that you want to send something to Alter Confusion. Now, of course, if you want to send something to Alter Confusion and have us featured on the show, one, it's got to be within reason. And also, two, we'd love to show off your stuff. If you want to, we have someone who continues to send. Well, I hadn't sent in a while, but there's an individual out there. I still don't know who it is because they won't put their name on it. If you're going to send something to Alter Confusion, put your effing name on it so that I can thank you properly.
No, seeing Charlie squirm and be angry is much more entertaining.
Okay, as you can see behind me, if you're watching the video, if you're listening to this audio, you can't see anything, but there's a bunch of Funko Pops behind me. There's an individual out there who continues to send me Funko Pops. I'm very happy about it. However, give me your name so I can thank you proper. But anyways, if you want to send something physical to Alter Confusion that we could show off, all you got to do is mail it to 1551 Dunwoody Village Parkway, number 88276. That number is super duper 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 important because that's the P.O. Box number. Without it, it will not get to us. It will be returned to you within 2 to 3 business days. So once again, it's 1551 Dunwoody. That's DUNWOODY Village Parkway, number 88276. The city is Dunwoody, state Georgia, and the zip code is 30338.
That's a lot of digits. Good sir. Why are there so many digits? Can you remove some of those digits?
If I could, I would, but I can't.
I mean, make everybody's life a whole lot easier.
Yes, it would. But unfortunately, I doth not have the ability to do so.
Then what do you have the ability to do, sir?
To try to alter your gaming confusion.
Oh, that works.
Speaking of gaming confusion, I want to thank and also scream at Zealeus for a recommendation that he made in the last show.
Yes.
The game is called, oh god, it was a Switch game that he recommended. Hold on, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look at my Switch real quick here. Uh, Book of Demons.
Oh yeah, how is it?
Have you ever wondered how Diablo would play as if you were origami characters?
Oh, that's a nightly occurrence for me, sir.
Well, that's what it is.
Interesting.
Yes. I mean, I literally. Okay, so you. It is Diablo-esque. I mean, literally, you have your fighter, your rogue, and your magic user, and those
Yep.
unlock as you go along. The cards that you gain through the game are basically skills, items, and equipment, and
Mm.
you can upgrade them when you have like upgradable things. There literally is a dude standing by a well going, "Stay a while and listen."
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, like you're when you play, you're like, "Holy shit, I'm playing Diablo."
Yep.
The one mechanic that's a little bit different. Well, I mean, it's going to be hugely different, and it's still real time, but instead of going like every single corner of a certain room, you have a path that your origami character is kind of like hopping down, and then the enemies will show up, and it will auto fight for you. However, it is slow, so if so just in case you get distracted, your character will slowly attack the monsters around you, but you could also spam like the attack button, which is your A. Sometimes you have to hit B because you have to break the shield, and then X is your like abilities or items. And
Interesting.
but the awesome and yet scary thing about this game is that after I think it's like the first two sections,
Yep.
it opens up this ability in the game that basically allows you to dictate the size of the next section of dungeon. And what I mean by that is it takes into effect how fast you're going through the game.
Yeah.
Or the section. And then it goes, okay, here is the small version, which is going to take you 7 minutes to complete this entire thing.
Okay.
The medium version, which is going to take you about 15.
Interesting.
The large version, which is going to take you 24 minutes. And so, of course, there's added bonuses. The levels are bigger. You gain more items. You get, stuff. Or you could put in a quick gaming session.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this is dangerous.
That's fascinating.
Yes, it's a very interesting mechanic that I can't say, or though I can easily say I like a lot, and unfortunately, I put it on the more time consuming side.
So compared to, I mean, I know you didn't have the best experience with Diablo, but just concentrating on gameplay only, what do you think of the actual combat itself of this game versus Diablo?
Okay, see, I've had no problem with Diablo, the original Diablo. Which
Okay, I'm
literally
talking like Diablo 2 or Diablo 3, let's be honest.
Diablo 3, I wanted to punch in the face.
That's why I said, like, issues aside. Like, I know there's a bunch of other stuff.
No. Okay, it's a simplified version of it. You are going to face off against random creatures.
Yep.
You are going to. I mean, it's the first main boss that you go against is the cook, which is the butcher, but the cook.
Yes.
So I mean, like, it is literally playing like a I don't want to say dumbed down, say a simplified version or a more fast stream version of Diablo, where when you go into a room, and there's like a treasure chest or something. You hit Y. Most treasure chests you can open with Y unless it's a big treasure chest. Then you have to hold Y for it to it takes some time for you to actually open the chest. But literally, when you go into a room, there's a bunch of like vases or pots or whatever. You can just spam Y and it'll just destroy all the pots around you. And then you use your right analog as kind of like a highlight that could basically pick up all that stuff real quick for you. Because like I said, you're on a path. It's not like you can, explore. Your character can't literally explore every single corner. However, your highlighter can.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but I have to say, I mean, I've put some serious time into it, and I really enjoy it.
Yep.
It does. I mean, it definitely gives me the heebie-jeebies because like this is Diablo. It's not Diablo, but it is Diablo.
Fascinating.
Indeed.
It is definitely something I have to keep an eye on, good sir.
Now, the other game I've been playing is a
Oh,
game.
there's more?
Yes, yes. Well, I mean, I played that game, but I also played another game called A Golf Story, and people and I'd heard like, okay, so it's a light RPG about a golfer. I'm like, I don't know, and it was like, but I don't know. It was just something about it. It's simple. It's easy to pick up. And the next thing you know, I beat the whole damn game. It's not all that long, but it was a lot of fucking fun. And I can still go back and golf on these random ass courses. Like one of the courses has these jack-o'-lantern pumpkins that if you hit it with a golf ball, that ball will go screaming off into a different direction.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
it's you know, it's an arcadey golf game that looks like it came from the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
The RPG element is you can buy and upgrade and use different golf clubs, or you can level up and add more distance to what you can hit or accuracy and all that stuff. It is, but isn't complex. I mean, you only play 9 holes, and you could probably get through it like in 8 minutes, and you could look like a stud.
Sounds like you found some good games in your life, good
Yes,
sir.
and the other thing, the really weird thing though about this game, A Golf Story, is that there's a bunch of random ass like mini games that are just thrown in there just to you know, throw you off. Like there is a disc golf mini game in there. There is a
Hey, get your frisbee off of my golf course, sir.
it's not a frisbee, it's a disc. But seriously, there's like all kinds of random, like there's a mini putt-putt course that you can unlock, and if you beat it, you can get like the best putter in the game.
Have you beat it yet?
I beat the whole game.
Oh, well, there you go.
I didn't beat all the side challenges, but I beat the entire game, and I beat the mini golf course to get the Uber putter.
Can you putt more uberly now?
I still could putt, so it's like you can bend your putt. I'm like, I'm not even going to worry about that. If I could just hit it into the hole, I'm good.
How big is the hole?
Bigger than it should be.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yes. Oh, and I want to I do want to apologize to a lot of people out there, big Nintendo Switch users. You almost got me, but you didn't.
Oh,
I still have not bought Animal Crossing.
tisk tisk. You don't know what you're missing out on, man.
Man, I turned on my Switch the other day, and I think out of the 7 friends that I have, 5 of them were playing Animal Cross.
Well, I know one who wasn't.
Yeah, you. Anyways.
I was playing still PSO2.
And I was playing A Golf Story, and then I was playing Book of Demons, and then I took the Munchkins game for a spin and was not all that impressed by it.
Not impressed. That's very sad.
Well, like Munchkins, you know, it's a bunch of planning and stuff. This is
Yeah.
a real time, just beat the shit out of something in an area and beat all the other people in that area to advance to another level to see if you can win that level. Just, I was like, this isn't the Munchkins that I've grown to love.
That's sad, yo.
It's very sad. And
I
depressing.
think last time I played Munchkins was with you.
That probably. I have a bunch of the expansions, and I've got a couple of Steven. Did I actually get him to sign a Munchkins? I know I got him to sign Zombie Dice. You might have done my Munchkin Zombie game too. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know. I definitely played multiple variations.
Oh yeah, there's a ton.
Yeah,
there's tons of different Munchkins, but I, of course, am partial to the original.
Why the original?
Because the first is always the best. until it's not.
I'm so confused. I don't know what to think anymore.
It just blew your mind, sir. It just blew your mind. Anyways, damn it. My brain, I apologize. I am still getting over the surprise of this week, and that was my little sister showing up from Seattle. And so my brain is kind of like all over the place because I got to hang out with my nephew today. And so I'm like,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, and specific to the PS5, it is ginormous.
Yep.
Does the console aesthetics, like let's just say you're interested in a next gen console, if you were, do aesthetics or like the size of it or any of that kind of stuff equate into your evaluation of a console, whether or not to buy one or not? And if so, which one to buy if you were looking at one? Excuse me, at one.
So the thing is, the look and feel of a console is kind of like, it's that it's like a badge of achievement. Like when people walk in, you want the console to stick out enough, in its uniqueness that people, as soon as they walk in, they're like, oh shit, look what you got. That being said, though, it is a little unnerving, the size that the PlayStation 5 is going to be. That is, that's like, that's a tower speaker for a surround sound. That's a foot tall unit. Shit, my entire desktop, that's maybe a foot and a little bit. In a
way, actually finding a decent place to put it for some people could be hard.
Well, it's like you can't put it under the TV. And I don't know very many TV stands or entertainment centers that have an open foot spot in there.
Like my condo, like just where I kind of put my electronic doodads.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if I have a place that would fit the PS5. Like I know it wouldn't stand up, and even going like long ways, like in the bookshelf, like I actually worry it's going to be too deep and almost like.
How deep is it?
It looks pretty freaking deep.
I didn't even think about that one. Yeah.
But of course, you also have to worry about the context of like, in your case, you have small humans and dogs. I have a cat, so it's not just that; it's also the worry of. That's why we're like. To me, that's where the PS3 or 4, or like I had the 360 like on a shelf on there, and it was perfect. Like there was no way for it to fall over when it was on its side like that. Whereas it almost looks like the PS5 is so large, where like I would actually be worried about like, is it going to fall over?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it also eliminates heating issues, I can understand why that's.
But here's the thing, though. It potentially yes, but however, if you have to like jimmy rig your entertainment center to get that thing in there, and the ventilation's bad, you're still going to overheat.
That's very true because you need airflow.
Exactly. Or if you're like me and you have like an old school plasma TV, and because the TV is basically the size of the fucking table, the only considerable place to put the damn PlayStation, where it's not on the floor, it's not going to basically bite the dust because of dust bunnies, is behind the TV, and that's where all the heat is going.
So you're putting it basically behind a plasma heat emitter.
Yeah.
It's probably not. I don't think it matters in that case. Like what kind of cooling the system has.
Yeah. No, but
we're not mounting it on the wall.
Would they even have that set up?
Probably not approved by Sony.
Probably not.
Because they'd be worried like it would fall.
It looks like a huge ass router, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have the ability to hang on a wall like my router does.
You can always 3D print some like Actually, like there's a ton of things. Like I was looking for the Switch. There's a
Uh-huh.
ton of like 3D printable
Oh yeah.
things you can do, but you also again size of the console.
Yep.
Switch is small. It's handheld, right?
Yep. Yep.
And like I, it's not, but I would not be worried about hanging my Switch from my wall if that was kind of the choice I went down to. So Gunny says,
Holy
I
crap,
think I'd
Nakamoto.
put the oh hey, what's up, Nakamoto? So Gunny would put it behind the TV. My problem is my TV is basically right in front of a fireplace mantle. It's like 4 feet off the ground.
But what about
So
the
if I-
TVs that are just mounted?
yeah, yep, that's basically what it is. It's mounted basically in front of a mantle. So like I don't I guess that might actually fit on the mantle now that I think about it.
Yeah, but
But it'd
still,
be a tight
how
squeeze.
like I would want to anchor. I would put an additional anchor on the top to
Yeah.
kind of hold it in there.
True, because all it takes is like a little gust of wind and it's
Fucking foot tall. Like it's not. I don't know.
I think my cat died on my keyboard.
Speaking of which, speaking of keyboards, not dead cats, I might be getting a new keyboard and mouse soon because my keyboard that I've been using for God knows how long, like all the keys are starting to just not respond as quickly as they used to.
That's going to hinder your gaming performance, good sir.
It's oh my God, what's the word you just used?
Hinder.
Hinder. There you go. My brain just went. It's hindering my ability just to type.
I would say it's time for a new keyboard, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
I would recommend a good wireless mechanical keyboard with RGB lighting. Yeah, go all in, man.
Mm.
Yeah. Live the dream. Live the Mountain Dew basement dream.
My Mountain Dew basement dream. Here's my Mountain Dew basement dream.
You know what? You could sell like 5 Funko Pops and pay for a good keyboard.
And that's just my latest run to the grocery store.
There you go. See, you really need a good RGB keyboard to fully embrace your basement of Funko Pops.
No. Speaking of which, though, I'm in the process of buying, I think 3 more shelves or 4 more shelves for to move some of my Funkos to that wall over there.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm. I gotta spread the love, man.
You know, you could just sell some.
That's my child's education right there.
Isn't he going to school next year?
Does anyone know if we're going to school next year?
Touche. That's the current plan for private schools.
What do you consider going to school?
Actually, being at school, on campus, doing the thing with the peoples.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that.
Well, largely it will depend on, honestly, public versus private.
True. What's mandated by the government and what's mandated by the governing body of the school?
Well, going how George is going right now, ain't nothing going to be mandated in about a month or 2.
Yarp.
It's going to be wide open to go out and die in the streets. That's why I actually think Dragon Con's going to happen.
Who knows?
A month ago, I didn't think there was a chance. But now, just with the kind of way things, doesn't mean I'm actually going, but just the way things are going.
Zealeus, come on, man.
I don't know right now. Well, one of my friends who was going to go, she already is like, nope, I'm not going. And the other friends I usually go with, they just had a newborn, so I doubt they're going. So, and just with all the craziness, let's be honest, it kind of lowers a little bit of the desire level in the first place.
Boo.
Boo. Yes, I agree. So, I've not decided yet, to be honest. We shall see. I mean, it might be canceled still, and that will easily decide it for me.
I guess we shall see.
What is there to see?
The future, if there is one.
Where is the future?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Or a minute from now?
Yes, that would be nice.
Or now? The future is now.
No, right now. But, no, it's past.
It's always the future.
Yeah. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we have reached the end of our show. I know that everyone should know of this at this point, but I do want to point out that, ladies and gentlemen, we do this Thursday night hangout every single Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
7 o'clock Central Time.
And we want to always extend an invitation to you and all you amazing individuals out there who want to add to the conversation, be it your voice, be a question, a topic, whatever. All you got to do is hit us up through any of our social media means, and we will get your stuff on here as long as you give us enough time to research. And even if you don't give us enough time to research, I'm sure that Zealeus and I are nerdy enough to figure something out. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Altered Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you everything come in our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. Will be back next Thursday for another Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.